Welcome back, everybody, to the Twin Chickens podcast. It is me, RD5000. We're here with Evan the Eagle over there.
Oh, nice.
And then we have Aubrey.
Hello.
Welcome. I haven't seen you. We haven't seen you since college. At least I don't know if you've seen it before. But
that was a lie.
I got to hang out with Aubrey a couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
We had Taco Bell.
Oh,
it was
so
great. Dude, we got each other foods that we've had before that the other person haven't.
Taco Bell?
Yeah, there's like...
Isn't there like just 3 things on the fucking menu?
That's Raising Cane's.
True.
What else is there? Just tacos?
Dude,
what else do you fucking
there's
eat?
the Chipotle like burrito things, chicken wrap.
I love those.
Those are amazing.
I get those now.
I don't know. I've never...
Have you had the cheese quesadilla, though?
I was just going to say that.
Have you had the cheese quesadilla with the cheese sauce, though?
I just did the grande cheese quesadilla. It's like this
but with the
big thing.
cheese sauce.
Not with the cheese sauce.
You need to try it. It is...
See, these are the things I'm missing out. I've been recluse from the world. It's been... God, it's been a long time since I've talked to people. So, you know, I barely go out. I do DoorDash, and sometimes even that's sketchy since I have a new apartment that I live in. Anyway, how we like to start off the show is I'm going to show a clip, and we're gonna discuss it and go from there. So, ready? 3, 2, 1, and...
Attention all females. I got an extra large hot tub. I got room for you and 2 of your best friends. If you try to get away from your mans for a while, go ahead and slide through.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is that us right now?
Definitely.
It's me and then I'm like this and then
Exactly.
it's the 2 friends.
Yes. So...
In the extra large?
in extra large format. So that guy, I haven't seen him on the talks, and I don't know if you're on TikTok, right? Like, do you use it?
Yes.
I'm not sure if your TikTok is like the same as mine, but I have some really fucked up things that appear on there, and we're about to see some of those.
Oh, I'm excited. I love TikTok.
Can we see another feature clip?
Yeah. Well, actually, we'll show another one because I only have 5 of them, and I'll show another one to you guys in a bit. But for right now, let's catch up with you, Aubrey.
Oh boy.
No,
Let's take it over. Where were you born? How you been?
Oh golly,
Go
I don't
from
want
there.
everyone on the internet knowing.
Whatever you want to
a
reveal.
little bit of
It's up to you.
backstory, maybe.
Yeah, and this is all pre-recorded, so if there's something you don't want in there, I'll cut it out.
Oh yeah.
But don't worry about it.
Like I murdered 12 people. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding. I'm just kidding.
okay, you gotta give me warning.
Take that out.
Yeah,
No.
Let's save that for the hour down the road.
Yeah, that for the bloopers. It's just at the end and everybody's like, this is great bloopers. It's just like, I killed 12 people. And it's like, dun, dun, dun. It's over and I'm like, oh, everybody can
career's
come
just
for me,
ended.
cancel me. I'm not even a thing and they're going to cancel me. They'll be like, don't ever let this girl get famous.
It's alright, no worries. I see you got new tattoos.
Yes.
Do you want to kind of show them off, or kind of go through them?
I have some that I'm not going to show, but
No worries.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I have butterflies here.
Oh, that's nice.
I have the bee. I have a moon. I have... This is by the guy who actually... Have you ever heard it? I don't know if they can see it.
Yeah.
Sketchy Tank. Have you ever heard of that from Zoomies?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, he did... I think I showed you mine
I think so.
before, but... he has a brand at Zoomies, and I went to this thing called 100K at Zoomies, and I was their #1 seller. So, anyways, people can get signed up to go and get tattooed by his people or whatever.
Is it free?
Yes, at the event it is free. But I had him give me 2 tattoos because I was like, oh, is it okay if I have 2? And he's like, yeah. So I got that one, and then this one.
Oh, yeah.
So top 5, because I was in the top 5 for 100K, but then it has his signature on there. Not signature like signature, but a signature like thing, which is like...
Like what makes him unique to his own thing? Right.
Yeah. And then I have an eye. I don't know if I'm supposed to be showing this or not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that works.
And then Medusa, because she's pretty sick. I have
that's awesome.
I always want to call it a pendulum, but it's not a pendulum. It's from a Ouija board.
I think I know what you mean.
Every
it's that little
time.
circular piece.
Yes, it's like every time. I know what it is, but I just I cannot say the name, and then I'll think about it for like 5 minutes. And I
No
got
worries.
It. Some flowers, a girl with her head in the clouds. I got 2 cherubs with an AK-47.
That is awesome.
Thank you. I love it.
Yeah.
This one that one of my best friends actually drew for me. I gave her them the idea, and then they drew it out. And then that one I already showed. This, I always call it my Mushu, because I got it just to have a dragon.
That's freaking huge.
I know. I love my Mushu. But I love Mushu, so that's why I'm like, I like that. And then lion. I have a rose, which you can't really see, but that one.
Okay.
And that's my first tattoo. Then I have a boy who's crying, says I'm sensitive, because I'm sensitive.
I love that. That's awesome.
And then I have one that's on the back of my neck, which you can't probably see, but like...
I can see a little bit of it, but yeah, okay.
It's like a... I do not want to butcher this, but Mandela? Not the Mandela effect, but the
Mandarin?
It's not Mandarin. Imagine if I just had Mandarin oranges just on my neck.
Some people have no regrets on their chest,
I guess.
but it's spelled wrong.
Oh, and then I have this one that says keep going.
Nice. And then you have others throughout.
Yes.
But, so, I guess since I don't really know you that well, from our interactions.
What do you mean? I thought we were best friends.
I thought we were too. Well, we haven't talked in like 2 years.
Yes.
The last time I saw you, I was actually shopping at in this mall that you were working at. I won't disclose your location, but I was shopping there with my brothers and sisters just to figure out gifts to get for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last time I saw you, and it was just a little high and bite because I had to take care of a kid that has ADHD, and then my two other sisters that are just, a little crazy. Yeah, a little crazy. But that was the last time I saw you. So, in between this time, were you just? I don't think I saw you with a tattoo in college. Did you just start adding them on throughout the years, or when did you get your first tattoos? I guess.
I got one right when I was 18, and then I kept going and going and going, and I think I just kept going for 2 years, probably. Well, 3 years probably, but then I just haven't gotten them because it takes a lot of time to go and get them done. I want more, and I have an appointment in August to get 2 big ones on my thighs. They're going to be fairies because I love fairies.
Right,
They're so
okay.
cute. So I'm going to get those. And then I want to get another bird because I have a bird on my ankle, but that's just, I'm not lifting my leg up. I got a dress on.
Right.
And so I have one bird on my left side. It's a cardinal, so I want to get one on the right side of my right leg. And then that's going to be for my dad. Right. And then I know I want to get more. I just have to think about it. And I know I'm going to get a Halloween half sleeve, hopefully.
Right. Oh, nice. What are you thinking for the Halloween?
That's freaking awesome. Yeah.
I'm going to do... Okay,
Michael
my arm
Myers?
is not big enough to do, like, multiple. I really wanted to do the 3 mains, which would be Michael Myers, Jason...
That would be fucking awesome.
And then... anyways,
Ghostface, probably?
No, Nightmare on Elm Street. I cannot think of his name right now. Freddy Krueger, thank you.
Yeah.
I always just want to... I don't know what I want to call him.
Well, those are, like... They were, back in the day, like, the 3 big, nightmare monster creature films or whatever. Which were revolutionary, obviously, because this is what it's grew up to be. But anyway, I like asking people about their tattoos because they always have some symbolic meaning. I want to say with yours, are you more connected spiritually with things, or just like what inspired your tattoos, or is there like a backstory between them?
No.
With certain ones? You just like, that looks awesome, I want to get that.
Yep. I'm very impulsive. I will literally... I hate making appointments for things, but the guy who... I actually was... gonna get one done by Clarice.
Yes.
Or get those done by Clarice, but then she said she was booked till September, and I'm like, I want to get them done like as soon as possible. And then this other guy, he's really great. His name's Dick, which is really funny. I always feel really uncomfortable saying that to people. I always just feel really uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't want a kid to hear me say Dick, and then have people be like, oh, you're talking about, and I'm like, no,
Isn't
it's a man's name.
Robert?
Probably, I don't know. But his whole tattoo shop is Halloween themed. So it's...
That is awesome.
Michael Myers, everybody is in that thing, and he collects things from that, so it's just like super cool. I love his shop.
Is he located, obviously in Minnesota, but would you say Minneapolis? You can give the shout out if you want.
Forest Lake.
Forest
Dick's
Lake.
Tattoo, Forest Lake. He's awesome.
Does he have like a webpage or something like that? Or
I'm not sure, but he did do my bee tattoo, which I'm going to try and like...
Yeah.
It's really fire.
Just so we can give him a shout out if there's anyone here locally that wants to do. You said you were more impulsive, so he kind of does quick bookings. I guess you don't have to really structure them out.
No, actually, normally he doesn't. From my experience, there was one time that he did, which was the B one. But I have tried to reach out to him. I think about like 1 or 2 times, and I've wanted tattoos, and usually he is booked, which is a good thing for him. I'm glad that he's booked, but at the same time, it's like I'm impulsive, so I'm like But I really do like his work, and I mean, the fact that I'm so, I don't know, for certain tattoos, I want certain things to look like certain things, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know. For the ones I'm getting on my legs, I'm like,
well,
I
you
really
build the trust
wanted.
with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why I was like, Clarice, I saw her work on her Instagram, and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, she's so good.
She's lit, yeah.
So
She's
I
amazing.
wanted her or him, and those were the only two I would do, like, have do
Yeah.
my tattoos, probably, unless I saw something else.
Yeah.
Have you seen the ones where she has shown the depth perception ones where it's like these cubes, but it looks like it's breaking through the skin?
No, that's amazing.
She wants
Yeah.
to try it, and
It's like a prism
I think,
kind of thing.
Yeah, were you
Honestly,
there?
She showed some of them to me because they're really unique.
But she really wants to
They're really
practice it,
eye-striking,
so
yeah.
I was debating when I get enough cash to spend more on, hopefully on a bigger piece, I'd let her experiment maybe and just have like a breakthrough,
That
super
would be so
interesting
sick.
design.
Yeah.
Do you have a placement or?
I haven't thought about it, but I'm gonna try to find an image.
If you could, and then
But-
just send it to me, or you can show
Yeah.
me here as well. What I have, I just have this one. It's the the Sheikah symbol from Legend of Zelda.
Oh, yes.
I'm a fucking nerd. But what I want to do is get two of them. I want to get one on my sleeve or one of my, whatever. It's a band, I think it's what it is, where it goes around your arm.
band, yep.
I want to do a Red Ribbon Army from Dragon Ball.
Okay.
'Cause I don't know why. I just always
Yeah.
wanted something that goes around here. And then this is gonna sound weird, but the Eye of Illuminati. I saw it on some girl's TikTok. She has it on her neck, and it looks fucking amazing.
Bro, you know
Yeah.
what I did today? I have to show you because
I haven't
brought up
talked to you in so
Illuminati.
long. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, Arturo's gonna be there. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So I was taking pictures of my my rings because I really love my rings today. They're Hello Kitty.
Oh, look at that.
I'm like obsessed. Like this one is like literally my
I'm
favorite.
super jelly. Those are
I
awesome.
was taking a picture and I was literally like putting my hands down on my dress and it was like this, but I wasn't trying to. I was just like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, the Illuminati.
Yeah.
And my friend was taking a picture of me, and this is me being like, I'm a part of the Illuminati.
You're part of it.
And my hands were like literally like in the Illuminati symbol, and I was like,
Yes.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but
Yep.
I'm like, bro, I didn't mean it. I'm not. But
She's secretly
I might be.
in the pact. Do you do blood sacrifices? I don't know. I haven't really joined the clan yet.
No.
See, that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to work up to it. But anyway, it's been what? It's been so long. I guess whatever you feel like talking about, like where were you born? How'd you get here?
Well, my mom
I
and
don't
my
know.
dad did a thing.
I was
They're
dropped
not
off by a
dating
bird.
over here.
I was dropped off by a bird,
Yeah,
and
my
so
brother.
Mexican picked me up.
Oh. My brother told me that I was born from rocks. Like my brother would say that when I was younger, and I
Is
was
that
like,
not? That's okay.
and I would just pretend to be triggered by it, and then I
Right.
actually convinced myself to be triggered by it. So sometimes I'm like, dang, was that really? And I'm like, oh no, mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I
Okay.
mean, I've lived in Minnesota my whole life, so
Okay.
there's that. I don't know. I
Never
don't.
plan on leaving.
Yeah, frick yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I want to travel as much as possible, but that's hard because it's like,
Well-
my main thing is like not the money necessarily. It's more of like finding jobs or like finding a place that I actually like.
Yeah.
Because traveling takes a lot of time out of working and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
my mom's my boss, so
Right.
it's really hard for me to like want to take a break from that. Also, I don't know if I want to travel alone because if a man or a woman or somebody try to murder me, or like do the other things, I'd
Yeah.
be like, well, I can't fight you back, so I'm just
You don't have a
gonna sit here."
taser or anything?
I do have a taser, but the fact of the matter is, my hand's quick enough to grab that. Plus, my bag is kind of small, so I'm like sitting there trying to.
Right.
So if you
And
got
I-
a small handbag, you're just pulling out this large taser that's...
Dude, literally, like, no, I swear, I'm the worst. I will literally pack as much as humanly possible into every bag I have.
Right.
People are like, what do you got in there? Water bottle? I'm like,
Yeah.
girl,
You have no
you
idea.
have no idea. Pulls out a vacuum, you
yeah,
know.
the whole.
Pulls out a whole grocery store. I'm like, what you want to eat?
You want
They're
some
like-
tomatoes? I got canned beans. Do you want some beans?
randomly they're like, wait, why? And I'm like,
The
"Because
full
you're hungry.
mani-pedi
You never know.
set.
You're a
Yes.
survivalist. That's pretty much how it
A
goes,
whole
right?
computer. Somebody's like, oh man, I really want to play like Among Us right now. I'm like,
Yep.
here you go.
You
They're
want-
like, bruh.
Mac or PC.
Need some
Yes.
snacks.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yes,
Yes.
just a mini.
Well, so this is why. It's because, like, traveling right now, I thought it would be... Your biggest concern would be because we just got out of this COVID pandemic,
Mhm.
right? And I'm not sure if it affected you that much, like, mentally or just, like, how this all went. But my whole thing was I was going to go to Japan last year. I saved up all my money for it. I made a business for myself, and I got everything ready for it, right? Then everything got shut down. I was so upset.
Arturo, we're going to Japan.
That would be awesome.
I don't want to go alone.
No, that would be awesome.
I would literally do it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, okay, now they just opened up. They started getting flights and
Yeah.
stuff. It made me have hope that now we can do things. But this pandemic, it didn't really affect me so much, like, mentally, because there are some people that went through some terrible things, you know, this pandemic. But for you, did you have any troubles navigating your way through working, through going to school throughout this entire time?
I didn't go to school because I got my associates and I stopped.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wanted to wait so that I could figure out what I want to do because I have no idea. I just want to make money. That's
Yeah.
all I know. But, I mean, my dad has asthma and he has, like, breathing issues and I guess his lung capacity is, like, 50%, something like
Right.
that.
Which is not good if you're trying to survive this
Yeah,
pandemic
so
thing.
I was really mainly worried about him and like obviously my family and people. Like, I have a coworker whose daughter has asthma, so it's like, and she's little, so it's like if she got it, that wouldn't be good.
Right.
Of course it wouldn't be good if anybody got it, but like especially people who have like heart problems, who have
Yeah.
breathing problems, things like that. I mean, so I think like that was the main concern for everything, but other than that, it's like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, everything getting shut down was really hard in general, just for everyone. I don't
Right.
think it's like personally me, but like I do also think I really like being alone. That's like my favorite thing ever.
I am the same.
So
yeah.
I didn't mind any the 2 weeks where we couldn't do anything.
So did
Yep.
it feel like for you that doing drive-through stuff just felt like perfect?
like normal,
And
yeah.
Yeah.
Everything being converted to just getting taken care of. You can make a shopping list and have it delivered right to your car, like at Target or something.
Mhm.
Just having that convenience. Did you emphasize or utilize that a lot?
Not really like the curbside unless it was necessary, like it had to be done. But
Yeah.
I mean, I do like going into Target and spending a little too much. I mean,
I mean,
The
that's all of us,
browsing
though.
aspects of Target is
I
just...
That's a
No.
Minnesota thing, I think. That's everyone.
I can't go in there and not drop some money. But I think at some point though, it was nice to go into places like Target. Like I don't think I went to the mall or anything like that.
Right.
That I know of, other than I did work at Zoomies for a little bit.
Mhm.
During or right before then. I think we had a shutdown for the 2 weeks
Right.
and I couldn't work at the mall, and then I actually ended up quitting.
Right.
So I didn't really work there, but I still was in some sort of customer service. I worked at a daycare, and
Right.
you still have to talk to the parents and you have to all that stuff. So it's
Yep.
customer servicing in a sense. Child service.
It's
That
still-
sounds weird.
It's still
That sounded weird.
No, you're still servicing someone or whatever.
Yeah.
That's even worse. So the main thing is, my sister also had throughout my sister's pregnancy, because she just had a baby. He's 11 months now.
Congrats!
The cutest little fucker.
Oh my
I don't-
gosh,
It's the
yes.
cutest thing. Her main issue with me was that, because I'm I work as a businessman. I have my own business, so I have to go out and, like, if a client wants like a whole bathroom remodel, I have to go into their house and physically
Oh.
talk to people. So I have to do quotes, estimates, and I have to physically be outside, right? So going to Home Depot, getting materials, all that stuff is mainly what I do on. I'm always out, basically. So throughout this pandemic, it never really changed for me. Everything that I was doing before the pandemic, I was still doing during the pandemic, and even after. It didn't really affect me that much. But with my sister, she was really peculiar about, like, hey, can you at least wear a mask if you're, like, 2 weeks before you come in? Or can you at least, wash your hands every 5 minutes? Or, ridiculous things like that. Just for her own safety and for the child's safety. But once we all got
Vacuumed.
When we all got vacuumed,
When we all got our-
vaccinated.
thank you so much. I can't talk English sometimes. I speak 2 different languages, and that's fuck. That's just me.
It hates when the French comes out, It's probably
Comment allez-vous? Fuck yeah. Anyway, that was the biggest thing, right? Is how do I navigate now her life? So you had to do that with your dad as well, right? Like, take certain steps to make sure he was okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it was normal steps. I think it was just more of like, if somebody came into contact with someone who could have had COVID, like they maybe they didn't fully know they had it. I don't know. It's more like being cautious of like, were you tested recently?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Okay. Which, I mean, feel like people should probably have done anyways, because it's just like, it's a good thing to do to make sure you're safe as well.
Yeah.
And most people should have been caring for their families in the sense of, okay, I could bring this home to somebody,
Right.
and then they could bring it to somebody else. It's just like any sickness, though. I mean, that's worse, 100%. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, if you got the flu, if somebody else has the flu,
You don't
you got
wanna
the flu,
give
you
it
don't
to
want to
them.
give it to anybody else, because
Yeah.
then they can
Especially somebody that has already been prone to other diseases like cancers or just even other heart problems.
Right.
Lung
And if you
issues.
care for them genuinely, you don't want to do that. And for me, my biggest problem is because like me and my dad are business partners, right? So we both handle things, handle equal parts in our business.
Mm-hmm.
But in my culture, I guess in my, what's it called? Race? I don't know. We believe that love triumphs everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of fucked up. I think I already talked to you about this, as in, we don't really care. We think that if we go to like a friend's house, a mom's house, whoever, that since they invited us during the pandemic and we go, that everything's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that even throughout this pandemic, and if you're sick, I think it's just good to just always have that like common sense, or just,
Mm-hmm.
what do you call it? Hospitality kind of thing, that
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get you sick or anything. But that's what I was dealing with. I was kind of dealing with my sister being pregnant and trying to deliver her baby, and then my dad and their families getting together, and then it's all nerve-wracking.
Finding a balance for you and
Yeah.
how it'll work through everybody's situation.
Exactly. That's why for me, I love being alone. That's my biggest thing. When I was throughout this whole pandemic, I actually grew more out of my business, and I was able to do more things. Like I was talking to Evan, getting more into hobbies, developing more in my other businesses to get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're just stuck at home doing nothing, I feel like, well, what are we going to be doing after or before? You know what I mean? So I used that time to do that, but it seemed like you kept pretty busy, so everything turned out fine, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly. No one's dead.
I think so. Yeah. No.
Fantastic. And so you said you're not doing school. You got out of school and you got your degree, which is awesome. Are you planning to do something with it, or?
I mean, with associates, you can't really do much, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
there might be some things I just haven't discovered yet.
From what I
But-
know, it's like it's just your check in society that just tells you that, oh, you're capable to handle a
Right.
computer or
Right.
basic stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I do want to go back to school eventually. I like homework, actually. Everybody thinks I'm
Yeah.
a psychopath, which it might be, but, like, I love homework. I really do. I like being busy with something. That's another thing, is I have to be doing something. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very glad fidgets came out.
Yeah.
I know everybody, that's a huge thing, and I work at the toy store, so,
Right.
you know, that's something that's really, like, popping there. So,
Right.
I don't know. I'm really glad those came out because I am so freaking fidgety.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I always have to be doing something, so I don't know. I feel like that's nice.
I feel that.
What do you normally find yourself losing yourself to? Like whether it's your job, like you got to stay busy. So what are the things do you find that you enjoy just losing consciousness to almost, or just getting really involved?
Well,
Yeah.
Webkins do be popping though.
Webkins?
I love Webkins. Solitaire on Webkins. Everybody hit up Webkins. I bought the whole year membership.
What is this? I don't even know what this is.
Dude, Webkins?
I don't know. It sounds like a thing.
I gotta go. No, I'm
No,
just
wait,
kidding.
wait.
No, but it's basically where you get to like pick a pet or you can buy pets. I have a bee and I have an ice fawn. It's fine.
You
I
have to
love
show
it.
me this after.
I
this
will.
podcast.
Oh, yes. I
This
can't
sounds
stand it, but yes.
addicting.
It might not be for anybody else but me. I just really
Yeah.
love solitaire, and they have like 3 different kinds, and I'm just like, oh, really?
Solitaire the game?
Yeah, solitaire the game.
I'm so intrigued. Okay, yeah, for sure.
So that's great. I also really like painting is fun, but like
Yeah.
I don't really do it a lot. I don't know why. I just don't. I mean, being outside is fun, but
Right.
I get anxious being outside, so I don't do it a lot, but I really love being outside.
Right.
It's just kind of me placing myself outside and then doing it for a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
like being inside in my room and just being in my little bubble.
Yeah.
But I think that's also a part of like depression and anxiety.
I mean, it can be, because like for me, I'm one of the people that just, because of I have a lot of family problems and just a lot of things for me that I've cut out a lot of things in my life to be happy, right? I mean, everyone does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you cut out bad friendships, like old exes, bosses, whatever you have to do. And I'm having that balance issue with my family as well right now. It's
Right.
kind of hard to balance people that don't want to be in your life, and it's especially hard when it's your family. So when I'm at home, I did a review of Joker, the movie.
Oh, so good.
I did a little in-depth review of like what mental illness is and all that stuff. Check it out on VVR. YouTube.com/VVR Joker review, all that good stuff. Just shameless plug or whatever. But my main thing is you can be alone if you have something to do, because you have your own security, right? as long as you're doing something to better yourself, or just like keeping your mind busy, like you have a goal that you're striving for or something, it's not that dangerous. But when you're alone and you're hurt, that's when things can become very isolating, and it can start to fill a void.
And maybe not necessarily addressing it either, because sometimes if you're in a certain state, I know years ago, just locking yourself into the same rhythms and patterns, whether it's the same type of music, sad, depressing something, or the same TV shows, and not just kind of addressing it or sitting by yourself alone with your thoughts. Mm-hmm. I feel like I don't do that enough, but it can be.
Well,
or I
find
balance. It helpful to have something to keep you going and moving forward. Like, all right, tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah.
But also to try to break that rhythm of just like, all right, I don't want to be in that place anymore. Shake it up. Yeah. Do something else with it.
And throughout this entire time, I'm not sure if you do the same thing, but I had such a... Throughout this pandemic, what actually hurt me the most, it's not... The pandemic didn't really affect me as much as other people, which my heart goes to everyone who had family losses or all that stuff through the pandemic. But for me, it was more of I was going through the most difficult time of my life, and I find myself being alone with no one there around me. And I obviously, when you're alone and you don't have support in your family or support in friends, like I'm thank God I have Evan. If I didn't have this guy, I don't know, I'd be on the street prostituting myself. Most likely.
I mean, whoa.
I would most likely be doing that for sure, like 100%. But thank God I have this kid. So for me, I had to go through therapy just to balance myself out. And I'm still currently working on things for myself, but it was more of getting out of my mentality of why am I like this, why do I feel like this. So I strongly encourage anyone that is going through any tough times, definitely seek out help, because it's something that we all need, and especially coming out of this time, it's just, crazy things. We got a little heavy, so I apologize for that, but let's watch a clip. Yeah. Let's watch a clip to kind of reinvigorate ourselves. Let me know what you think of
Hello, my TikTok friends. How are y'all doing? Any women out there need a good man? They're gonna screw me over. Man, I'm gonna be single the rest of my life, I guess. If I know good women, everybody's running easier. Money, send them a card, send me this.
I'm not sure I understood any of that, to be honest.
He said something about sending money and cards, something about a girl or be alone forever.
He's trying to give a shout out because what I find on TikTok here is a lot of old men are trying to find the females. What do you think of that guy? Did he hit the mark? Did he do it right? I'm kind of curious.
Oh, you're asking me?
I'm asking you.
I mean, not personally my type, but other people might find him.
What is your type? Ideal person?
I don't have a type, to be completely honest.
Do you have to just mesh with somebody, and then it's like,
and then you have a connection.
I'm 100% sure I'm going to be alone forever, and I'm so okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd rather be by myself, because it's like that. I always find that when you're in relationships or you're with somebody, like, I get hella jealous. I hate it. I hate that I get hella jealous, but I do. And obviously that's part of me being like, okay, dude, you just need to chill, like, whatever. And I've been working on that with, like, friends too, because I get jealous with like friend things too. Yeah. But that's just something I have to work on. That's not anything to do with anybody else. But I just think, like, it's fine. Like, I'm a little sad. Like, my mom was like, hey, we're going to move up to the cabin at some point for retirement. We might have to bring you with me, because I'm like, I don't like roommates. I want to get an apartment by myself or a house by myself.
Absolutely.
But that costs money, so you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, am I ever going to get married if I move up there? And she's like, yes. And I was like, I don't know.
She could set you up. She probably set you up with someone over there, most likely.
I don't know.
Probably built you a Tinder profile already, and you have no idea.
I got banned on Tinder, but we don't have to talk about that. I can't talk about it. Not on here.
Yeah, but we can talk about it off screen for sure.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, so with that old man, I thought it was great because, for me, I love being alone as well.
I thought you were going to say I love old men. You said with that old man, and then you go.
Maybe that's you didn't know. Maybe that's what's coming up. No.
Elaborate, please.
No, I'm not. I don't have. No, forget about that. Doesn't matter.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Off screen, dude.
I like 50 plus on my Grindr account. Whatever.
Whoa.
Doesn't matter. Moving on. I love the feeling of isolation as well, because when you're in your bubble, you know that no one can do any harm to you, and I like the feeling that I am in control of everything. If I want to go to Walmart at 3 in the morning, I can do that. If I want to go to Popeye's Chicken, I can do that right now.
You can do that. Right now? No, I'm just
Can't.
kidding.
But that's what I love, right? When you're alone, you don't have to worry about, like, did you eat? Yeah. Well, then fuck me. You know what I mean? Like, you're free to do whatever you want. So I totally understand why I think being single is actually one of the more beneficial things to people's lives, because it actually, you get to grow as a person and mature as a person before you're ready to bring that relationship to somebody else, because you're bringing someone's life into you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be, especially as I'd like to even see myself move into my own place just by myself and not live with anybody.
Yeah.
I feel that'd be an essential part of just growing as a person, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be super cool to have that extreme alone time.
It's
where
the best.
You're not seeing everybody or somebody, whether it's family or your roommate, you're not seeing them on a periodic basis. You can come home and there's no noise. It's
nothing.
Just all you, whatever you want to do.
Well, that's the genius about when I wanted to get my house, right? I wasn't prepared to have a house. I think it's really difficult if you're unprepared, and just, I think it's our generation, millennial wise, that people don't talk about these things. People don't talk about that you need a mortgage, that you need to save so much to get a house and all that stuff. So when you want to get one, you're so unprepared. Mm-hmm. So obviously, I got everything ready, but at the end of the day, I settled in an apartment. It was just the easier thing to do.
Right.
Do you need a trash can? Or?
No, I'm grabbing another vape. Mine's starting to taste.
I wasn't sure if you
dull.
grabbed the taser. Just
Yeah.
so this
you
is
know
bad.
what you just said about mortgages, bro?
You fucking...
I don't like that.
Gotta just chill for a minute.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is, you don't know how liberating...
Liberty?
Fuck, I can't. English
You don't know
today.
how Liberty be feeling right now.
Liberating. I love how liberating it is walking around my apartment completely naked.
Oh.
It's the best fucking thing.
Oh.
Yeah. It is amazing.
How wonderful.
So I hope you guys get there as well. Join me.
I prefer not to, but yes.
No, not in my apartment. I'm saying like, what I'm saying is when you live alone.
That's not what I meant, but okay.
When you live alone, it's that freedom of like, you don't have to worry about anybody. It's just you. And
I think it'd be more entertaining to see the reactions of everybody else in the apartment complex as you walk naked from your car into your...
I've seen that. It's humiliating. It's pretty bad. In any case, so that's what I've been up to throughout this entire time. Well, me and Evan have been trying to get this podcast going for a long time. Obviously, Evan started a band. How's that band going for you? I haven't asked you.
Actually going pretty well. We have our next show on July 1st at the Forest Lake Legion, so that'll be exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But even better news, I got to go play at Menards in Eden Prairie the other day.
Save big money?
Yeah,
what?
Dude. Plumbing, electrical appliances too. You know, those savings go right back to you.
My man.
But regardless, I got to talk to the manager, and he said, I'm not sure if they're firing the other pianist or
they
they're
probably
just quitting.
shot him in the back of the head and then got you in.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised with all the crazy Menards stories I've heard. But regardless, I think I can start working there next week. Paid practice time.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
We should celebrate.
Congrats.
But I am
Like a
super
Jolly
excited to
Rancher or
hopefully keep
Say
amping
Jolly
it up.
Rancher.
I don't know what he likes.
What?
We should celebrate with something.
He said a Jolly Rancher.
Ah, okay.
Fuck,
I
I should have
thought,
said that.
thought it was something else, but
I should have done something better, like Cold Stone.
Yeah.
shit.
Even better.
You can take me to Cold Stone.
There we go.
Take that for
There
free.
we go.
No, I'm just kidding.
There we go.
We'll just rob him. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay.
Or maybe just go around the counter, grab a scoop, and just walk out.
But I'll just help myself to this. Just grab the fucking bucket and just walk out. We could do
we
that.
could share it.
I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know why not. It's like what, 50 gallons in a fucking. It's a
Dude,
giant
I could eat all that.
Menards bucket. It's fucking-
Just sitting there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it.
I didn't even check the time, guys. Oh, we're actually doing fantastic. Do you have to be anywhere? I forgot to ask you.
Home?
You don't have a time, right? You're not on curfew, young lady.
Man, my mommy actually said that I had to be home
did ya?
at 6 o'clock. So
Oh, okay.
I'm a little late.
Past
I'm just kidding.
bedtime.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's a bedtime.
Jesus.
My demon actually told me I have to be home by 9. No, I'm
See,
just kidding.
this is what I'm saying. I forget to ask people questions so that I don't interrupt with their lives because.
I mean,
Yeah,
I just
no
have.
stuff.
I would prefer to be home at a decent time. So
Right, so like 1 p.m. is fine or whatever.
yeah, it's a little past that, but I mean,
Oh,
that
yeah,
does
you
work.
said whatever. No, I just wanted to make sure that we didn't go over time for you.
But you mind if I bring up, could we talk about some of the medium
Whoops.
stuff?
Oh
That,
my goodness,
Didn't mean to do that.
he's back
Nope,
from the dead.
No,
No,
we
he's
didn't
not
do
dead.
that.
He's not
Sorry,
dead.
that was my fault.
But do you have any stories, or could you elaborate to Arturo what we talked about the other time?
I'm so excited about this. I love going into these things.
Okay.
Very blank.
So, I am. So, first off, the first time I discovered that I had a third eye kind of thing.
God damn it! Okay. Hold on. Do you do the same thing?
Do I do what?
Do you know astral projection?
I don't. I've heard of it.
All right, we're gonna talk about some astral projection here.
Are you okay?
I just have a nerd boner right now.
That is like such a reaction for a nerd boner. All right. Oh, I see. You're massaging the brain. Okay.
I talked to this motherfucker about these things, and I'm so glad that there's someone else in the universe that. Oh, continue. I'm sorry. I'm freaking.
Okay. You're fine. So I actually met this guy who he was friends with some of my friends, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm a psychic, and all this stuff," and he was talking about his kind of stuff, whatever.
Sure.
And so we were drinking, and I was like, I'm gonna try it. And so I tried, seeing if I could read somebody. So I actually talked to one of my friends, and I described her dead grandpa. And this was the thing is, I wasn't sitting there, she was one of my best friends, but I didn't know her
Past a certain point?
family stuff. I knew about mom, dad, brother, but we never talked about grandparents or anything like that, other than oh yeah, I don't know, I hung out with them or something. Or, you know what I'm saying? Stuff kind of like that. So I was closed my eyes, and I was I'm seeing, a man in, I can kind of remember it, a man in, it was a shirt, but it was, one of those, not flannel, but you know what I'm talking about? It's, a nice shirt, but not, too nice. So I can't see it as well now, but... and then it was blue jeans, and I was there's a farmhouse kind of looking thing, and then there was a garage on the left and a fence, and it was more in depth at that point.
Right.
And also I was drunk, so God knows what I remember.
It probably amplified your little power there.
Which I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then all I heard was for a second I couldn't hear anything. It was so weird. I was in my head, and then all of a sudden I heard crying, and I was I was still eyes closed, still kind of meshing, and then I was are you okay? And my friend was bawling, and I was what's wrong? Are you okay? Did you get hurt? Because I had my eyes closed, and I didn't know what happened. Maybe she got up to get a drink or something, I don't know. And she was you just described my grandpa, my dead grandpa, this and that, and I was oh my gosh. And that's when I actually freaked myself out, because I was I can't. This was supposed to be me making a mess, being I think you peed the bed when you were 3. And then they're just haha, wow, you're so great. You know what I mean? But in reality, it was oh, you really did.
It was
do
more
it.
specific than just a generic answer, oh, hey, yeah.
Yeah. But then I did another drunk reading, but it was via Instagram Live, and I was this is not gonna work. No way, this is over Instagram Live.
Right.
So then I actually, and I was drunk again, because, so what I was gonna say when I said I'll get back to that is actually I looked it up, and getting high or having some sort of something in your system,
right,
alcohol, whatever, can actually help that third eye open up. Which I thought was really interesting too. I mean, maybe it's because you're letting loose and you're not really thinking about what other people are
that makes sense.
The other energies around you. You're thinking, okay, I'm just focusing on this one person.
Yeah.
And I was or my friend was hey, so can you tell me what my ex-boyfriend's grandma's room, or his room at his grandma's looked like, sorry.
Yeah.
And I was I guess, and this is over Instagram Live again, so I was this is not going to work.
Right.
And I was okay, so I see a bed on the far left towards, the wall over here, and then I see, a door, it's a wood door, dark wood, whatever, not dark, but, dark wood, and then I saw a closet, and it was one of, those open-close closets, and then there was a desk, and then the sheets were, a blue check kind of thing, but not checkers, it was, like a pattern. Like what you're wearing,
kind of
but
flannel pattern.
Yeah. And then my friend was oh my gosh, that's literally where my ex-boyfriend, ex-fiance hung himself.
What?
And I was nuh-uh. And she's yeah. And then this other girl asked me, how did this person die? And I was Okay, I guess I'll guess. And I said he was
Right.
on his bike. And then she goes, he got shot on his bike. And I go,
Jesus Christ.
stop. I was like, this is gross.
So the way that I see it, right? And so I'm a huge believer in the third eye and astral projection. So I talked to Evan about this, of how to navigate your mind and how to actually project your body so that you can experience more things or actually delve into your profession. So the way I always thought it was bullshit, complete bull, right? Like for spirituals and mediums, until I got my shit right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not until you experience that you're like, holy, how do you, because you can say the vaguest things, but it's not until you say like, oh, bite, or something that like starts as you the psychic, you see things kind of like in flashes, right? Or how do you experience these psychic events? Because the way I think about it is, it's like out of nowhere, you're just thinking about, like, for example, this firewood, and then somehow that relates strongly to the person around you.
Right. I don't know whether I'm psychic or like a medium, and I wouldn't say by any means I'm like great or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
But like it's still.
But you've had
I've
events that are
experiences.
interesting.
Right. So, medium I'd feel like might be more fitting, because psychics I feel like usually can predict things.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I am not educated on much of that.
Yeah.
But for what I saw, I could actually just kind of like, it was almost like I was looking around the room or looking, and then like, that was for the bedroom. And then for the grandpa, it was like I was just standing and I could just see it.
But like
it was
in a
just
flash, right?
Yeah, basically. But it was like a big picture, and then it was just like, so that's there. And then it was like, so that's there.
You just kind of visualize it with your eyes open?
No, closed.
That's what I call astral projection. So in this case, what you're doing, so it's kind of interesting because you have two different tests or theories we can run by. Because one of them, were you close or touching the person the first time? Like kind of like touching her hand or kind of physically next to her when you were doing your first reading?
I think both. I can't remember.
And you said you really didn't know this person as well as, past a certain point. You didn't know her family, extent, all that stuff, right?
Well, she was my best friend, but at the same time, it was more of like, I didn't know that
Right.
point of family. Just like she didn't know that point of my family either. But we were best friends. Like, we would talk about other things. It just what we just didn't care.
But both of these people, you had a good connection with them, right?
Yeah.
See, now that's the other thing. So when I think about astral projection, you have to have some kind of connection with the person. This is why you started with asking questions to get to know them, and then from there you start to do the reading. With astral projection, what I was telling Evan before is if you're able, what astral projection is that you're able to physically, consciously step out of your own body and envision yourself either, like I told Evan, like he had a family in Mankato. I think it was your grandparents, right? Someone lived in Mankato or whatever.
Sure.
And I was telling you, how do you if you were to go there now, do you know what the surroundings would be? And then I navigated him to seeing everything of his grandparents or the house or whatever. And through him, he was able to see everything. So in me, and the way that I do astral projection, and it's kind of tricky because you have to stay in that meditative stance, right? You have to be comfortable. This is why, like they say, drinking, smoking weed, or all that stuff, or whatever it is, to calm yourself down, to get yourself in a certain space, so that when you do a reading, you're focused in on their energy levels, and then from there you start to either get visions, or if you want to experience yourself just leaving out of your body to go somewhere else. It's a very dangerous thing to do if you don't do it well, but from what I experience, I'm able to go other places, such as like my parents live in Farmington or whatever. I'm able to see or feel some kind of energy and then travel there. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is what I nerded out so much. I'm sorry if I scared you, but
No.
this third eye Illuminati thingy, it's as funny as it is. I told Evan, everyone has a profession in life. Everyone has a calling and what they're supposed to do, and I know mine. When I start to draw, I see the world differently than other people. I was telling Evan that, like, when I actually look at this TV, I'm able to, you've taken an art class before, you can kind of see the 6 grid or whatever, and kind of start checking angles. When I was going through the hardest time in my life, I lost it. It was like it was closed off. I couldn't see any angles. I couldn't manipulate a 3D space in my mind. I couldn't even make music or make anything come around to it. But until I got my mind right, until I became balanced, I was able. Everything made sense again.
Right.
And now I can see everything. I can see the outline. I was joking with Evan. I can actually see his nipple through his shirt because it's so poking out.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Okay. But the main thing is I'm able to start to understand things better. But when I'm talking about the third eye, I'm talking about your profession. If this is what you're meant to do, do you think that you're going to pursue this calling or maybe this interest or
No. I mean, well, I was doing tarot readings for a little while, and it was always hit or miss with people because it was like some people. I did one of my friends' readings, and he was like, "Will this girl ever talk to me, or was it?" I mean, with the thing with memories for me is like it's always. You know, people are like, the truth is somewhere in between this, and then it's the middle. It's always hard with memories because you're like, it's somewhere there.
Yeah.
It's in there. Might have gotten it
a little shuffled?
A little shuffled, but like, so that's with the readings as well. It's like, I don't remember the exact wording that was placed. So if anybody watches this that I did anything for and I got a word or a thing wrong, sorry. You know what actually happened. We're good.
Yeah.
But I was doing a reading on him, and, you know, he asked me about this girl a long time ago that he liked, and, you know, it didn't go as well as they'd planned and all this, and, you know, it was something like, should I reach out to her? Will she reach out to me, or will we be friends again, or something like that.
Right.
And then I did my reading, and it was like, I think it was like, yes, you should talk to her, or something like that, or like, you know, she's in a spot right now where it's just not good, but it's like, whatever. The cards, I only got numbers.
But you were able to translate what they said.
Yeah, and then he actually messaged her, and they became friends again.
Right.
So, obviously, I don't think they're friends now, but because it ended up going bad again. But the future's always changing, so.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're gonna.
There's a dinosaur that lives upstairs.
Yeah. And then I literally did my other friends like right after his or right before his,
Right.
and it didn't resonate with them at all. But then it's like it's so hit or miss because it's like I was also really uncomfortable in that situation because I was closer with this person than that person.
That's what I was saying, that you need to establish some kind of connection. Because if you go into it cold, it's really hard to get into that person's mind, or actually to even explore your own consciousness to get there.
Well, and comfortability wise, I mean, like, I was just more comfortable with this person because I had been friends with them for a long time, and you know, we'd hung out a lot more than me and this other person.
Did
but
you
I
feel
still
like
knew
you had
this
to prove
person.
something?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I got nervous that it wouldn't be right, which means, you know, it's probably not going to be right because you think there's a chance that it could.
Doubts in your mind.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I do find it fascinating how energy, I would say manipulation or something, when you think about somebody long enough. Like, I've had instances where, you know, I'll think about somebody for an extreme amount of time and then they'll call me or something, whether it's family, friends, or something.
It's manifestation.
He does that with me a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because I text you every once in a while. I wouldn't have done that if you weren't thinking about me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's just like dreams.
Yeah.
But we've had like 8 million.
Yeah, he told me about
Don't
couple.
understand.
Oh my
What pervert?
That were her dreams, man.
Well, I mean, you know.
Wait, you were able to see one of her dreams? I'm sorry, did I miss that? Or how
No.
did it go?
No, I've just had a lot of dreams about Evan for absolutely no reason.
I do too. That's a normal
Yeah,
thing.
but yours are wet dreams. Mine are just random dreams.
Mine aren't. They're usually just us
Lucid
holding
dreams.
hands, walking down a beach. Nothing too crazy. One time, no, I'm kidding. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, we kind of reached our middle point, guys. So we're gonna actually see another little clipping. All of these people that I show, by the way, by all means support them. They're the reasons why this show is made, by the way, or at least that's the way I have this formulated. So, everyone that I show here, it's not to poke fun or make offense. It's just kind of something to entertain.
They're humans.
Yeah, exactly. So let's try this one.
Oh.
What the?
I don't know how to react to that.
Me neither.
Respond, I should say. I know how to react. I don't know how to respond to that.
You've never done anything like that?
Can't say I have.
So, okay, one of the weirdest things I used to do as a kid was always wear my diaper, right? I was always this diaper kid. And I would go around fighting whoever. You know, do like a paddle pose or whatever, and you just fight whoever. And I had this huge thing with like every adults and half the kids my size. That was me. Did you ever do something like that?
Weirdest thing I've done.
You do magic shows. By the way, we're going to film a magic show with Evan.
Oh, that's
I used to do some magic shows.
But that's not weird. That's a normal thing.
That was...
Yeah, it's so
probably
weird, Evan.
over
What
a
the
decade.
heck?
Yeah. Dude,
Can't
even
be
playing
fancy.
piano? Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, what is that?
What is this?
You can't be talented.
You never like, I don't know, like...
That's,
That face.
No, it's because like I had two different things that
Yeah,
I should have said, but nope. We'll save it for
I'm
later.
glad you stopped yourself.
Yeah.
But you can tell me later.
I'm pretty mature. I was just trying to say.
you try your
I'm
best.
trying to stay mature.
I would remember trying to like dress up and be cool as hell. Like when I was like 12 years old,
Oh,
13
dude.
maybe.
Hell yeah.
I think everybody did that.
Yeah.
Just
for sure.
get really
I used to be
snazzy up, but
extremely-
in just weird clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then think you're the shit, and then just kind of have a swagger about your presence.
Yeah. Well, does it make you cringe thinking about it?
A little bit, yeah.
Those
Thinking
are
about
things
the
I'm talking
photos that
about.
I've taken of myself,
See,
trying to like look cool, but totally did not work.
This is what I'm talking about. Now we're getting intimate. So for you, you don't have anything?
Oh, I have plenty. I
Oh,
am a
you can
pretty
share whatever you're
embarrassing
comfortable
person. So speaking of you trying to be cool, well, one time we got new neighbors, and so my brother was being a butthole. I'm pretty sure he's being a butthole. I don't know. He whatever. It was all love. I love him.
Yeah.
But I did start eating rocks because I was mad. So I just started shoving rocks
What?
in my mouth and was chewing. And I was like, you can't chew those, girl. That's
God.
not going to go down. So I just spit them out. And I remember my neighbor just like, and I was like, yeah, be scared. So I did that.
Shoving. Jesus, rocks though? You didn't physically eat them?
No.
right? You just like
No, I wasn't that dumb.
but
I
rocks.
I can sometimes have my moments, but one time though I did have my neighbors tell me, not the same ones, different ones, that you can eat grass. So I did it to
I used to do the
prove
same
that
thing.
you can eat grass.
I used to do the same thing, but just because no one told me.
No.
I was just like, I saw a cow do it, so why not?
Why can't
right,
you?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, no, and I mean, when I was a kid, my mom, I said shit, and then she goes, you can't say that. And I go, shade. And looked at her, and I just kept saying it.
You're
and
one
she
of
was
those
like-
kids.
And I was like, yup. Yeah, I
Found the
said it.
loophole.
Yeah, I said it.
But you never, I guess, during your childhood, your parents never really hit you, right? Or did they yell
They
at you?
spanked me.
They did.
Yeah.
My parents only hit me twice, separately, not together at the same time. But like, that's it. I never got any spankings. I was the worst kid you could ever fucking imagine.
I remember being a terrible kid, and there's this new kid on the block, Shane.
Yes, this is.
I
a
think
great
I told
story.
you about
I love
this.
this story. You tell me. every time.
And because it was just so interesting, I haven't met the rest of the kids on the block, I guess, but he knew somebody who was like across the street, and we went over to their house. I was probably like 10 at the time,
Right.
maybe not even. But regardless, we go over there. My parents wanted to know my location, where I was at, as
Yeah,
most
of course.
good parents do. We go over there, and the neighbor kid that Shane knew had to go have dinner. So we were just hanging out in the backyard. They got a little play set or whatever, like one of those jungle things that you climb into.
Sure.
Regardless, their backyard is all fenced in, but their neighbors have a pool next to them. So guess what Shane has the brilliant idea to do? Grab a bunch of rocks and start throwing them in the pool over the fence.
What?
So
A
after
little
like
guy.
maybe a minute of that, the guy who owns the pool fucking rushes out of the house, comes to the backyard as we're like kind of leaving, because at that point it's like, we shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And he grabs us by our collars and takes us to our houses.
Oh my goodness. Was it like a nice pool or was it like a kiddie pool?
No, it was like a nice pool.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
Love
so-
that.
Why not? As a kid, just to go on the
But-
topic of kids,
Yeah.
I told you a couple already. I was the kid that if he didn't get what he wanted, he would just fall on the ground and start taking all his clothes off. I know I talk about getting naked a lot, but it's because it comes from a point when I was young. I was, 4 years old. I wanted this Power Ranger collectible doll or whatever from like Walmart or some shit like that. My dad told me that I said no, or he said no, and I wanted this, so I just grabbed it and I put it under my shirt. I'm a toddler. Whatever the fuck. and I'm just walking with it, and then obviously we go outside and the things start ringing, right? The fucking sensors are like, hey, this kid's stealing. So they obviously like pull it out of my shirt, and my dad doesn't want to pay for it, obviously. So I try to fight with the person, the fucking cashier lady, or who the fuck, the attendant person, trying to get the toy back. Mm-hmm. And obviously they say no. So my dad doesn't hit me. He just grabbed me violently and just puts me in the car. And I'm still crying, shaking, all that stuff, still naked the entire time. That's who I was as a kid. And I didn't change until like a year ago. Until I finally learned
go figure, you know?
Until I learned how to get my way and all
You're
that
just
stuff.
like literally in the grocery store just
All the time.
Did you ever
throwing
physically
hands.
like
Where are
fight
my
anybody?
pineapples? Yeah, all that shit.
Were you getting physical with anybody?
All the time. All the time. I was the worst kid.
Beating them up?
I was the worst kid. I fought with a lot of kindergartners back when I was like 10 years old or
Back
whatever.
in the day.
Yeah, a long time ago when I was, for some reason, like they had something I wanted. So it was just like, I want that pencil, and then just start smacking people. That's who I was. I was an animal. The worst human being possible.
Yeah, I ended up punching a pastor's wife.
Can you tell that story again?
Please
That's
tell
a
that
great
story.
You haven't heard it?
Yes.
But it's amazing. Oh.
We were on like a youth trip that my family took us to. It was like a whole church get-together thing out in actual Wyoming. I was really young at the time.
Okay.
But regardless, see, I don't remember it, but everybody else does. I just remember what's been told to me. Everybody else had to go away. They were just doing something, don't know what it was, but I was left alone with the pastor's wife and a few other like really young infantile kids. And apparently I was really influenced by Andy Griffith. You know the Andy Griffith show at all?
No.
But regardless, there's an episode where the young boy Opie is dealing with a bully, and so they teach him to fight back and give a little pop back in what is it called? The phrase is give him a knuckle sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So for some reason it clicked in my mind where I was just hanging out or something, and I asked her, "Hey, do you want a knuckle sandwich?" And I fucking popped her nose.
Yeah.
Oh, was she okay?
I think it ended up breaking it a little bit.
Heaven.
Or maybe it was dislocated.
That's so
but,
disgusting.
Yeah.
But then I remember getting yelled at outside, but I never remembered doing it, which is...
You probably blacked out.
Probably.
That's so weird.
Were
But
you angry?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
It was just from a...
I'm just not gonna... I'm gonna just say
that's
you...
what-
Oh my god.
But-
Oh, there you go. That's what does it.
Ah!
Don't punch her. She's a guest. She's a guest.
But regardless, I don't remember any of that.
I can't believe you did that, man.
Yeah,
And you don't
Evan.
go to church?
He sucks. Let's
Yeah.
get him out.
Yeah, I mean, I would take your shoes
Fine,
off.
it's
He
fine.
starts getting
I'll just
naked,
say-
you start punching, I'm over here eating rocks.
Yeah, just film the whole thing. It'd be great.
I got a rock collection somewhere, you just start munching on some
Start feeding us rocks. Arr, arr.
fool's gold.
Yes, I love it.
My God, I can't believe you did that. Like, okay, so I never talk about usually relationships with people or religion because it always sparks disinterest and conflict. It's pretty clear to say that me and him are agnostic.
I think it can at times, though. Like,
Yeah.
it can be super enlightening to see other people's point of view, and I like addressing that at times in the right situation.
This is a safe space, is what I'm trying to say. So, do you find, like I said in the beginning of the show, did you find yourself to be more spiritual? Are you part of a religion, or do you care?
I'm a Christian, but
Okay.
I'm a more accepting Christian than like other. That's hard
like
to
more
say.
conservative?
Well, there's a lot of people like you'll see on TikTok. People will be like, "Oh, they're a Christian," and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, but like I'm a very open kind of Christian. I'm not gonna be the one who's like, "Yeah, gays are going to hell" or anything
Yeah.
like that. Like, God loves everybody in their own way. Like,
Yeah.
you are allowed to be whoever and whatever you want to be.
Right.
God's not going to be like, yeah, you're going to hell because you're transgender. You're going to hell
Yeah.
because of this. Or you swore, you're going to hell. Or, oh, you had sex before marriage, you're going
Yeah.
to hell. I don't believe that because if God is this great being that forgives and loves,
Yeah.
he's not going to be like, you need to be this exact thing because why would he give us free will?
Yeah.
He wouldn't.
That's what I believed the same thing back when I was raised Catholic, and then funny enough, everyone that when I came to Minnesota was Christian. So I have two different dichotomies, and then I figured out my own thing, and how I became agnostic is another totally different story. But I respect everyone's thing. You know, whatever your thing is, it's what it's your own belief. No one can take that away from you. But I also believe the same thing that if I always saw God as the Father. as your dad. That he would forgive you if you did something terrible because he's all-knowing. Or, you know, all that good stuff or whatever. But I always saw that as that. It's like, as long as you know what's wrong and what's right, everything will start to fall into place by virtue of whatever your religion
Well, and
is.
what's truly wrong and right. Not
Yeah.
like, sorry, I know you're about to talk, sorry.
No,
But
go
not,
for it.
there's like people who will say, oh, being gay is wrong, right?
Yeah.
That's not true. That is not true. I feel like at a point it seemed wrong, like back in the day when the Bible was made,
Yeah.
maybe people were like, oh, that's not allowed.
It's
but
scary,
now,
yeah.
I mean, God wouldn't have made it so that this is the future
Yeah.
to have that be wrong when we have so many people who are gay,
Yeah.
trans, you know, whatever, all of those things.
Yeah.
It's not fair to be like now, you know, it's like how the law is always changing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's
Yep.
like, I think the Bible, in a sense, is always changing.
Absolutely.
It's just that nobody's going to rewrite the whole Bible to now, really. You know
Right.
what I mean? They might.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
they
makes
could.
So it's just people's own interpretation.
Because they're like, this is how it was written
Yeah.
this long ago, so this is how it has to be. Well, I feel like if, you know, there was a second Jesus,
Yeah.
he would have to,
Yeah.
He would have
Things
to-
would have to change, absolutely. I would
because there's no way that he can be like, hell, 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 hell,
Yeah.
hell to everyone.
Yeah.
Because we would all be sent to hell.
Exactly.
For something.
We've all done some terrible things, and even I know people that still go to church and still commit terrible things. It doesn't matter like where your religion lies. I always thought it was more of what your personal belief is, and if you're sticking to your own morale, right? Because you can be in whatever religion, the purest of forms, but if you're not following your own truth, it's what's the point, right? I always thought about that, but I always thought as well. If Jesus was alive today, and this is what this is really fucked up to think about, but because of the state that the world is in, it needs to change. Absolutely, there has to be some change of acceptance from everywhere. Because I'm glad that people are able to go through this transgender phase, or just able to come out as who they want to be, because that's who they feel they should be, right? I always thought that is the most amazing thing, because being told your entire life that you're not that you're something that you're not, it's maddening, right? So I always thought that if Jesus came alive today, I think this is really fucked up to say, but I always thought that. Have you seen the movie Mother at all? With Jennifer Lawrence. And the main thing is it's a allegory of if God was alive today, or Jesus came physically formed, that we would eat him alive, because everyone is so me, attention craving, and so I want this, help me with this, or do whatever. I don't know if you guys think about that, but
Well, I know he
heavy
wanted to
concepts.
say something, yeah.
Well, I was gonna kind of go off a different tangent of if you've done anything interesting or crazy fun at like churches or whatever back in the day. But regardless, I kind of like that idea. I think people are extremely self-centered, especially how we've all been raised in the modern century.
Yep.
There's not as much community, I feel, as there could be.
Mm-hmm.
There is in certain situations, especially in larger gatherings, like especially in a church or religion, people gather there and they all are more like-minded. So I feel there's so much more feeling towards those individuals. So it comes from a place of love. So whatever you're doing, it mostly comes from a positive aspect.
Right.
But in just day to day, that I feel there's a total lack of personability and love to be able to share that with others.
Yeah.
Like whether you're going to the grocery store or buying a new car or something, whether it's just maybe the day you've had, but I feel you should also have control over maybe anger or whatever other emotions you're having, and not pit that towards somebody that has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Expressing your emotions in a
Hostile.
in
kind of
just
format?
the not right way of
Yeah.
what you might expect.
Yeah.
But
And I always thought. Sorry, did you have something else to say?
Not right now.
I always thought that no matter what your religion is, it's always important to just, no matter what, just be a good person. Just treat everyone correct. And for my personal stance, if there's someone that treats me wrong, I just cut them out of my life. If there's something that I don't like to do, I personally just learn how to live without it.
right, and I think the best part is realizing when you fucked up. It's not necessarily doing it, but it's always like the day after, or maybe within a few minutes
Right.
later after saying something like, oh, I really shouldn't have said that. Like whether it's coming home and you just got off the phone or had some terrible event and you just. I remember having a pissy attitude and just being like, yeah, I'm on my fucking way home, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then realizing, like, the moment I hung up, it's like, shit, I gotta call him back and say, like, you know what, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it for it to come out like that.
Mm.
But having those moments of reflection to grow as a person, because we're always gonna fuck up.
Yeah.
Or that's the way I see it. So overcoming anything that, any obstacle and
But
keeping that contained.
I have a question for both of you. Do you think, though, that a lot of people now kind of have lost the sense of knowing when they did something wrong, or they don't want to admit it?
There's this huge sense of entitlement that we were talking about that. With my... So my sister, right? She's a teenager, as you are. When you're a teenager, you don't really know what's right and what's wrong. So you do and say things that not intentionally hurt people, but you actually end up hurting the closest ones you want, that you love or whatever. So there's a certain point where you should be told or shouldn't have a guidance of what is right and wrong. This is the talk I was going to have with her, and I'm not trying to get too personal, but the main thing is she disrespected me because I'm her older brother. I'm the oldest of the family, right? I'm the oldest of the 5. And for me, I always try to do the right things with them. Try to treat them equally, or try to treat them as they should be. But the problem is when they disrespect me, I have to find this balance of trying not to yell at them, but get my point across that you just said something you weren't thinking. It just came out of your head or whatever. But the sense of I'm right and you're always going to be wrong. That mentality, I feel, is a lot with this generation that's coming up, and I see that a lot. Not just with my sister, but I see that with a lot of other people. The reason how I found out what's the truth, or like what my truth is, or whatever, I watched a lot of movies growing up. So I have a lot of perspectives on things, and just how to overall like overcome grief, sadness, and all this stuff. Not just with movies, but like my own personal, like losing a parent, all these other things, like losing a dog, or even that. I always knew that I don't want to hurt myself. Therefore, I don't want to hurt other people. And I just learned how to talk better, So with my sister, it's always just finding this balance of like, hey, I need you to understand that you're an adult now, because she's 15. In our culture, that's like, whatever. Sorry, guys, our timer for the recording got a little bit too long. Anyway, just to wrap up the thing. Shit, what was I totally forgot what I was saying. Anyway,
we got 5 gigs, man!
Fuck. Love people, love all, and try to have a good time. Anyway, we're going to wrap up the podcast with just having a video. One more video coming up.
There you go.
So...
no, not this again!
I gotta get this guy out. Jesus. Anyway, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming, because this was amazing. I've been working with Evan to get this thing rolling, and to get more efficient at it. We took like an hour just to get this as good as it can be. But our plan is to keep doing more, and hopefully we can get you on again as we go on here. So for now, let's just get our quick last thoughts on this last one. And I think it's... Nope, not you. This one.
Oh, I love this one.
You know what?
I saw it today.
Me and the fatties are having a summer party in the Forest Creek. It's a full moon. I'm already like part mermaid, but like this water you better turn me into a mermaid. If not,
To get a job or something.
like, what am I supposed to do? Get a real job? I like need to be a mermaid. But yeah. Also, a bird flew in my room earlier today, and it shit all over my bed. So like, there's like shit on my bed. But that's fine. Oh my god, I should have brought something to drink.
I love that video.
Yeah, I thought about you when I was...
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was doing all my things. Because what I do is I select all the videos beforehand, and I make sure, okay, what's appropriate, what can we play, and what's just, a good balance. So I thought about you when I did this one, like, oh, maybe she might like this one.
I love that one.
I hit the mark.
You
Okay,
did.
I'm getting better. Better at this. So anyway, do you have a Twitter, Instagram, anything you want to do?
I have an Instagram. It's, oh God, I just changed it. I think it's like Fairy of the Forest 98 or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
And then, yeah, that's kind of it.
No worries. You don't have like not a website, but like
A website?
I don't know, like merch. You
So official.
You don't have like an Etsy store or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Fairies to the
I'll put it in
Buried
the
Forest
description.
98, yeah. And also, I was very nervous, so sorry if I, like, messed up any of the memories that I had.
No worries.
I just get very anxious that people are going to be like, that didn't happen like that. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't remember things correctly.
Don't worry. Evan, you got a Instagram, something you want to plug? Show?
Actually, come out to Forest Lake Legion on July 1st at 6 p.m.
At the
Show
6
up.
p.m.
At the 6 p.m.
At the 6. I think that's about it for me.
Yeah, and then obviously I'm going to put everything in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this worked out. I'm going to be distributing this through Anchor, so it goes through Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, and all that stuff. It's going to go through all the podcasts, hopefully, and hopefully this actually end up working well. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any videos you want to send us, just send everything through twinchickenspodcast@gmail.com. And any questions, love advice, you already know what to do. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.